YOLO. Last year's New Year's resolution for me was to read 100 books in a year. I broke it down to about 25 books a quarter, or roughly 2 books per week. And I'm happy to say that I was able to accomplish this goal. And I kept a list of the titles of all the books that I read. And I figured I'd share them here, that way if anyone's interested, they can go ahead and start reading some of them. I'll be going through the titles rather rapid fire so I can get all 100 of them in here. And I'll say a couple of things here and there about certain books that I liked, or things that stood out to me, or if they just sucked and I wouldn't recommend them at all. But without further ado, because I don't, let's get into it. Number 1, The Art of War. It's a classic. Number 2, The 48 Laws of Power. Number 3, Unreasonable Hospitality. Number 4, Getting Things Done. Number 5, 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Number 6, Think and Grow Rich. I love that book and I recommend it to anybody who has a money mindset. Number 7, The 10 Pillars of Wealth. Number 8, 33 Strategies of War. Number 9, The E-Myth. Number 10, Mastery. Number 11, Critical Conversations. Number 12, No Excuses. Number 13, Mindset. Number 14, Side Hustle, From Idea to Income in 27 Days. Number 15, Economic Facts and Fallacies. I really enjoyed that one. Number 16, one of my all-time favorites, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Number 17, 0 to 1. Number 18, $100 Million Leads. Number 19, The Game of Life and How to Play It. Number 20, Only the Paranoid Survive. Number 21, Your Money or Your Life. Number 22, and this is one I recommend to anyone who wants to get into investing, Common Stocks and Uncommon Profits. Number 23, Business Adventures. Number 24, Where Are the Customers' Yachts? A phenomenal read, and I'm probably going to read that one again soon. Number 25, Essays of Warren Buffett. Anything about Warren Buffett is going to be a very dense read. So just prepare yourself for that if you decide to start reading into his essays or reading the different biographies that are written on him. It is going to be very informational. Number 27, The Little Book of Common Sense Investing. This is a cornerstone for almost all investors, I would say. It is an absolute 10 out of 10 must read. 28, The Warren Buffett Portfolio. 29, Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion. 30, The Autobiography of Andrew Carnegie. A phenomenal read, and I highly recommend it to anyone who has the time. 31, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. 32, Thinking Fast and Slow. 33, this is a cornerstone of American independence right here, Common Sense. 34, The Richest Man in Babylon. I definitely recommend this story to everybody, and I bought it for my family for Christmas last year. 35, Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind. 36, Tap Dancing to Work. 37, The War of Art, which is different than The Art of War. 38, A Short History of Nearly Everything. Do not let the title fool you. This is a very lengthy read. 39, Trump, Think Like a Billionaire. 40, The ABC of Money. 41, The Great Gatsby. 42, Man's Search for Meaning. 43, Structures, or Why Things Don't Fall Down. 44, Beyond Good and Evil. Absolutely love the work of Friedrich Nietzsche, if that's how you pronounce his name. He is one of my favorite philosophers. 45, 1980 What If. This is a collection of short sci-fi stories from the 1980s, and they are, I'd say 3 out of the 5 of them are absolutely phenomenal. 2 of them are just kind of like, eh. 46. The Autobiography of Benjamin Franklin. 47. The Intelligent Investor. Another absolute must-read for anyone who's getting into investing. It is a cornerstone for many great investors. 48. $100,000 Dream and How to Make It Come True. 49. Cash Flow. 50. The Idiot. This was actually the first of Fyodor Dostoevsky's books that I'd ever read, and after I read this book, I decided to bump a couple of the other books in my list for last year and replace them with more of his writings because he's such a phenomenal writer. Just absolutely amazing. I have not read all of his works yet, but I do plan on it. 51. Money Energy. 52. Psycho-Cybernetics. I'd definitely recommend that one as well. 53. Failing Forward. 54. From Failure to Success. 55. Manipulation. 56. Consistent Choice. 57. The Quiet Millionaire. I would recommend that to most people, even if they're not interested in investing. 58. Awaken the Giant Within. 59. How to Win. 60. The Self-Aware Leader. 61. Ego is the Enemy. I love this book because it does a really good job of showing how we are our own worst enemies and we get in our own heads. We think of ourselves as too high and mighty, or we don't ask that question because we don't want others to think we are stupid. And by not asking the question, we end up remaining stupid. Bit of a catch-22 there. But yeah, ego is the opposite of humility, and humility is a holy virtue. So ego should be seen as an unholy virtue, if you will. 62. Meditations. 63. The Grapes of Wrath. 64. The Laws of Human Nature. 65. Pragmatism. 66. Mind Manipulation. Ethical Persuasion. 67. Animal Farm. This was actually the first time I ever read Animal Farm. I know most people read it in high school, but I hadn't, so I was coming into it fresh. And I really enjoyed it and would recommend it to most people. 68. Notes from the Underground. That's another one of Dostoevsky's works. And that one, well, I'm not going to spoil it, but you should definitely give that one a read. 69. Start with Why. 70. The 5 Levels of Leadership. This one is actually one of the books that Patrick Bet-David recommends on his channel, Valuetainment. 71. 1984. A classic. Most people have read it. I'm going to recommend it if you haven't read it, or if you have, go ahead and reread it, especially with the Palantir database that's being set up now on all American citizens. Definitely gives Orwellian vibes. 72. A Farewell to Arms. 73. Homage to Catalonia. 74. A Brave New World. 75. The Brothers Karamazov. 76. The Millionaire Next Door. It's a classic investing story, and I think most people should read it even if they aren't into investing. 77. The Compounding Effect. 78. Financial Literacy for Beginners and Dummies. 79. The Book on Investing in Real Estate. 80. Crime and Punishment. This is by far my favorite of Fyodor Dostoevsky's works that I've read. And again, I haven't read all of them, but of the ones I've read, this is the head and shoulders above the rest. 81. The Communist Manifesto. Now listen, I'm a true-blooded American, but still, the whole know thy enemy kind of thing. You gotta get into the minds of them, try and understand where they're coming from. and it's really not that long or hard of a read. 82. Sam Walton, Made in America. 83. The American Scholar. 84. Self-Reliance. 85. Nature. 86. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I personally love this book, and this would be my third time, I believe, reading it. So, it's worth a reread if you haven't read it in a while. I'd recommend it. 87. The Rosie Project. I absolutely love this book, and it's on Bill Gates' list of books that everyone must read. Now, you may hate Bill Gates for any number of reasons. He's given us plenty. But one thing you can't say is he hasn't given us good book recommendations. This one, I'm not going to spoil it, but I definitely recommend that you give it a read. 88. A Study in Scarlet. This is the first of the Sherlock Holmes books, and the rest of them are about to come up. And I had never read any of the Sherlock Holmes books, but I've heard of it through different movies, TV shows, video games. So it was exciting to actually get to the source of Sherlock Holmes, if you will. 89. The Sign of Four. 90. The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. 91. The Hound of the Baskervilles. 92. The Valley of Fear. 93. The Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes. 94. The Return of Sherlock Holmes. 95. His Last Bow. And 96. The Case Book of Sherlock Holmes. Those are the Sherlock Holmes books in their order that they came out. Or the chronological order. I don't remember which one. It was a little difficult trying to figure out the exact order you're supposed to read these books. Kind of like someone who's new to Star Wars trying to figure out the order in which you're supposed to watch the movies. 97. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. 98. The Ride of a Lifetime. This is like the autobiography, or business autobiography, I should say, of Bob Iger, the former CEO of Disney. And after reading this book, I can say I am definitely not a fan of Bob Iger. I don't really care for the guy. 99. Outwitting the Devil. And 100. Steve Jobs. These are the 100 books that I read last year to complete my New Year's resolution. Let me know in the comments below which of these books you've read yourself, or which of these that you're now interested in reading. Maybe we can start a little book club in the comment section. Thank you for watching. I'll put a list of the 100 books down in the description of the video in case you're curious to look any of them up. And if you do, go ahead and drop a comment and let me know which ones you are interested in. And with that, I'll catch you on the flip side.